Hi, thanks for tuning in. This is the ASX and Sectors weekly chart analysis for the week ending 12th of July 2024. First chart is the parent index. This is the S&P ASX 200 index. The XJO is the ticker code. And we put some lines in quickly. This is the highs of the range. This is the near-term lows, the lows of the range. You can see the market's made a clear attempt to break out this week. Volume was only about average, a fraction below average. That's showing you that selling pressure was relatively low in the market this week. That allowed the market to push higher with relative ease and attempt to break out. The relatively low volume also suggests there's no price volume anomaly and the trading was genuine. In response, if trading conditions remain favourable, you may see a further attempt to push higher. However, most times there's an attempt to break out, you'll see the market at some point come back and test the breakout for strength prior to any serious attempt to push higher. In about 50% of breakouts, the market will retest the breakout line prior to moving higher, and the other 50% of the time, price continues higher. The higher price moves away from the breakout line, the lower the chance the market will actually test the breakout line for strength. This is the mid-cap sector. The mid-cap sector is the bottom 50 stocks in the ASX 100 index. You can see it's lagging behind the XJO to some extent. The highs of the range come through here. The XJO has broken above those levels this week. Volume was a little bit below average. So this market was really being dragged higher on the back of the XJO more than it accelerating higher. It's still got some catching up to do, and it may do so if trading conditions remain favourable. The small ordinary sector is the bottom 200 stocks in the ASX 300 index. Lows of the range come through here. Highs of the range up here. This market has caught up somewhat this week. The XJO is still leading, but this market is on the catch up. A little bit more enthusiasm in this market, and volume was increased but remained slightly below average overall. So selling pressure in all the large markets have been reduced, and that's allowed the markets to move higher with relative ease. The financial sector. The financial sector is really one big reason why the XJO in particular has really accelerated higher this week. This market was strong again. Here was the previous highs of the range. The market came back and during a period of consolidation effectively shook out the market here. There was a quick recovery in response, an initial breakout. And you can see that the market did see some shortening of the thrust here, but has accelerated higher again this week, above the highs of the range, on a good increase in volume to about average. So this was genuine trading, no anomaly, and this is the largest sector on the Australian Stock Exchange by quite some way, and that really dragged the parent index higher. This is the metals and mining subsector. Lows of the range down here. You can see some buying support came in down here. That buying support really helped the market move higher last week. The next higher level is this breakdown line here. And the market's effectively tested for supply this week. It's pulled back with a reduced spread. It's an inside bar, trading inside the range of the previous bar for the whole week. Volume was slightly increased but remained below average, and the close came back to close closer to its high than its low. So this was the market moving back through the range of the previous bar, testing for supply, and then recovering most of the lost ground by the week's end. So this was a bar where you would normally expect the market to attempt to push higher in response. Now, with this breakdown line just above, the market will probably comfortably push up to this level. Whether it's strong enough to continue high, we'll have to wait and see. You may see price just trade in here for a little bit first prior to any serious attempt to break out above this breakdown line. This is the ASX gold sector, and it had a complex low which it put in recently. It's a little bit messy. Often there's a lot of retail involvement in this sector, and because of that, some of the levels become a little messy. Highs of the range through here. You can see the market's just popped above the highs of the range this week. Volume increased to a little above average, so it was quite high this week. Then this probably shows you there was some over-enthusiasm in the market this week, and the market probably should have pulled up somewhere around the highs of the range to test for supply, sort of in this level here. There's a little bit of over-enthusiasm late in the week, and prices moved right up and just traded above the previous highs. So whether the market comes back and does test for supply in this sort of level, we'll have to wait and see. If it's too strong, it may do so up here, or even in some form of bullish absorption if it's really strong, like this. So the market's looking okay. It really pushed higher this week on an increase in volume, and there is some enthusiasm in the market by the looks. This is the ASX energy sector. You can see, similar to the metals and mining, there was some buying support come in down here. That's allowed the market to push higher in response. A much neater test for supply here, where volume was lower and shows that selling pressure was relatively low. Here's the highs of the range. This is a pretty important level. You can drag that line from right over here. It's an axis line, and the market does seem to respect it quite well. It has done a lot in the past, and I expect this level may be a bit of a tough nut to crack. So there may be some further testing for supply in here prior to any serious attempt to break out. However, if energy really goes internationally, this market might get the impetus to move higher really quickly. So just be aware of that. A serious push higher, and if there's some testing for supply above this level, we'll probably see the market make an attempt to push higher with some real intent. This is the ASX healthcare sector. We saw the lows of the range develop here, then a nice shakeout over 2 bars. Price then moves higher up to this level quite comfortably. Since then, the market spent 2 weeks in consolidation and has really ripped higher again this week on relatively low volume. So here was the old highs of the range through here. That actually comes right across there if you project the line back. And the market has attempted to break out this week. If trading conditions continue to be favourable, you'll probably see a secondary push higher. And if the markets become more neutral, you'll probably see the breakout line tested for strength. This is the ASX industrial sector. There was an interesting line that came through here initially and was sort of fine-tuned down to this level. Since then, the market's been drifting lower, but really showing reluctance to move lower. The opportunity was there for the market to really thrust lower, and it didn't do so. It was reluctant. It was grinding lower at best. And with the market moving higher this week, price has recovered back above this level and has the opportunity now to consolidate back at this level. So we'll see just how the market goes. It has been lagging behind for a little while. It's got a lot of catching up to do if it's going to catch up to those larger sectors. But at this point, the market has recovered back above this breakdown line, and that in itself is a positive outcome. We'll just see how much strength the market has derived from that. Back to the parent index quickly, the XJO. Pretty clear to see that the market has attempted to break out this week. If trading conditions remain favourable, and they may do so, you'll probably see the market just continue higher, at least initially, and there won't be a test of the highs of the range prior to price pushing higher. Instead, you'll probably see price move a little higher, the chance of the test becomes reduced, and the consolidation period will happen up higher in the range like this. So, thanks for your time. Enjoy the weekend. See ya.